I'm wrapping the handle of my Japanese Bokken, which is a wooden sword, today, since I can't really go out at the moment. I thought I've got into the swing of it now, so I kind of know what I'm doing. So these two we pull as tight as we can, and then we're going to secure them at the back and then come round. Put them again from this side. Make sure they're the right way around. Make sure there's no twists. Check the last one. Now we go under, and I look at this end of the diamond to see whether the fold starts at the same point, rather than trying to look at the middle. I find looking at the middle isn't very accurate. Then we go under again, tuck that one behind your thumb, you go around with there, secure that lock with that finger, and now that one is held. Now we go under with this one, just trying to make it roughly symmetrical, and under again. Hold the sides, pull both of them tight, and you can actually just put your finger on the knot and then get these from the other side, or you can just swap hands with it like this. But you can actually hold it with your finger on the knot. Sometimes you just find the situation requires, I mean, it should be the same every time, but sometimes your fingers get in a muddle and you just need to hold the knot, and that's a perfectly good way of doing it. So again, we're going here, tuck that just behind your thumb, just under your thumb, and then make sure that one gives exactly the right gap left for this one that you're now about to pull over. Hold the two down with your finger, tuck that one under, tuck it under again. No, that wasn't right. These really need to be really good 45-degree folds, otherwise they just don't quite look. No, I've got myself in a bit of a tiz here with this one. So this one's not tight enough yet. What have I done? Yeah, I think that's not in the right place. Let's start again. There. So it's a bit further back than you think, always. The first fold is always just slightly back. That's why I say I look at the end of the fold rather than the middle of it to get it right. So tuck that behind your thumb, pull that over, hold all of them. Now get that one symmetrical, that looks symmetrical to me now, and then fold that one over. And then, as I say, you can just put your finger on the knot, you can just do that. And then all you have to, and then sometimes that's a good thing to do actually, if these two have got quite twisted and tangled up, which does happen after a while, and then you can sort of untangle them and they're going freely, and then you can straighten them up and then give them a good tight tug, and then your knot will align all nicely there like that. And then once again, rotate the whole thing, keeping it all tight. So you want to have the point of your sword sticking into something soft. I've got it on the chair here. Behind your thumb, round, hold them all. You've got to always keep tension on this the entire time. So I made a cup of coffee when I started doing this, and I cannot touch that cup of coffee now because this has to remain tense. There's no way of finishing it till it's finished. So there we are there. We can hold the knot if we want, or we can hold the two strands. So I've undone the strands there by holding the knot. Now I'm going to pull it tight and just check it looks good. Rotate the whole thing around, and there we are again. Once more, under, that looks perfect. Under again, holding it with my thumb, tuck that one over the thumb, get that one around, hold them all with your finger. Symmetrical, and it looks a bit loose, but I think it's going to be alright. Apart from the looseness, I don't think there's a problem. It just needs to be pulled a bit tighter, this one. It was a little bit off, but I managed to correct it there with a little bit of sneakiness. Yeah, it looks all rightish. It's as good as any of the others. Yeah, it straightened itself now as I pulled it tight. So again, rotate it around. The natural geometry sorted itself out there when I pulled it tight. Next one. That one, get rid of that behind your thumb. Actually, it needs to be straight behind your thumb. Make sure it don't twist. When it goes behind your thumb, make sure it's not twisted. Make sure it is straight. This one's tucking under a little bit late. There we are, just there, I think. Oh, that slipped out. That should stay under your thumb. It's a bit of a shambles, this one. Well, I think it'll be alright though, once it's pulled tight. Again, that's the key. Pull it tight and see. When you pull them tight, you kind of pull them almost alternately. You're trying to make sure that you're not pulling one more than the other. So you're kind of hokey-cokey with them. Okay, so now we're to this one. We're getting close to the end now, and I can't remember what to do at the end. Yeah, hook that over your thumb, get that over there, hold it with your finger. Turn that one over. And again, hold the knot, pull them even and tight. It's a bit lopsided, but no worse than any of the others. Is that you see, when you look at it and if you think it looks a bit lopsided, do eye the whole run before you decide. And if it's no worse than any of the others, it's good enough. It's good enough because you're getting a consistency, a level of consistency that just looks aesthetic. This is a really lovely ribbon. It's not a Japanese ribbon, it's not the special stuff that we're meant to use, but it's so nice and it's such a Japanese style of pattern. The colours, especially the red and white, do look rather wonderful. Red, of course, colour of Japan. Red and black, really, I suppose it would be, but red for the sun, the land of the rising sun. And I do not know what we do at this point, but I actually rather like the idea of having this hanging free. So what I might do is just do my own variation at this point, maybe twist these around each other. I think I might actually tie them off each other in just a simple what we call in the West a half hitch. Obviously I want the half hitch to sit well. I don't want it to look scrappy or make it twist the ribbon. It wants to sit well. It wants to sit in the right spot as well. It wants to sit right there. And then we want to come around this side. Ribbons as straight as they can be. We don't want to do another half hitch. We don't want to turn that into a reef knot or something, because then the two half hitches will be locked forever, and that would not be in the spirit of this, which you're meant to be able to unwrap and redo. So everything about this must be have a temporariness about it. Actually, I quite like the idea of taking that. Oh, that's laid nicely there on that side anyway. I quite like the idea of taking the ribbon over this. I'm wondering if I can come over somehow like this. And then back again like this. Or does that look rubbish? It's not quite gone where I wanted it to. I just like the idea of this big old string hanging off of it. Anyway, I haven't glued this. You would dab glue along normally so that this doesn't slip, but it's still a better grip than it was with just the wooden handle, which is the reason I did it. I wanted a better grip, but it just looks beautiful. It does look beautiful. So this string, I think it's a touch long. I think it needs to be quite a bit shorter than that. And these half hitches will not hold completely, so we need to put something else more on it, something else more permanent. So we will begin by just going around it, I think. I think if I'm going to tie a bow, it should be on the non-cutting edge of the sword. So this edge that's towards me right now is the non-cutting edge. It's the spine of the sword, the hard spine of the sword is the bit that's facing me right now. So I think we will try putting a little bow in here. So another half hitch, and we can do a bow. And we can do a double knot, and it's a very, very solid knot there now. And it kind of looks nice. One thing about Japanese costumes and Japanese, especially martial arts swords and things like this, is that you will find this strange fusion of the masculine and the feminine, which only the Japanese are able to achieve, where you'll have something like a little bow, or you'll even have a little flower or something, or just you'll have something that you would think is quite a feminine thing aesthetically. I mean, just the very idea of wrapping something in a ribbon is rather feminine, and yet some reason the Japanese can pull it off, and you see it really, really works with that. You're not going to mess with someone who's prepared to show you his feminine side in his sword wrapping, are you? And there it is. We have wrapped it. I want to see how many holes, because numerology is so important in the Far East, but I'm also quite neurotic about it, so I have to know how many holes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Oh, that's very good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we've got 32 holes. Managed to cover that one up there with a wrap. So we've got 32 holes visible, which is really beautiful. That's 8 times 4. 8 is a very, very important number in the Far East. And there it is. Beautiful, isn't it?